get a lot of comments telling me about how much I seem to be like a Tailosive tech ripoff, and there's some truth to that, but not completely. I get so many commenters comparing me and Drew from Tailosive Tech, and just so you guys know, actually, we do speak with each other. We do talk to each other in Twitter DMs. I'm actually very famous on his members-only streams, and yeah, Drew and we do talk, by the way. He does know who I am. In fact, he himself has commented on a few of my videos, and once upon a time, before I had unlisted basically every video on the podcast channel for reasons that would be better explained on the vlog channel, once upon a time, Drew and I actually did do a collaboration together. That was very cringy on my part. I could not get myself together. But yeah, the point is, me and Tailosive Tech, we're compared a lot, and despite that this will make a better video on the vlog channel, because all of this comparison is done here on the Gadgets channel, why not let's just talk about it here. Plus, really, what else is there to talk about? I've gone off about iPads how many times, coming to the exact same conclusion, and WWDC has yet to happen, and at the moment, I have no excitement for it. I don't know how to be excited for it, to be honest. So we're going to talk about, am I a Tailosive Tech ripoff here today? Let's begin. So I guess we'll start off with the comparisons and how we seem to do things very much alike with each other. For example, either I will do a funny skit at the beginning, or I'll just start a little commentary section like I do when I'm trying to save time, just because I actually don't have time to record at the moment. But yeah, Drew will also record a funny little skit, and did he inspire me to do it? Yes. And the truth was, I like doing skits even before I started them here on the Gadgets channel. I was doing mini skits on the original channel until, well, unfortunately, I just don't have much time to have fun on that channel anymore. When I do have time to have just a little bit of fun, but not enough to make a whole dedicated video for the original channel, I like to put in a little skit for this channel too, and that's just because, really, the topics that I talked about today are really boring and not particularly interesting, and Drew has also admitted he has this exact same problem. Starting off these videos, yeah, I will do the occasional skit when I do have time to actually film the occasional skit, and then we cut into the intro, where it's just a quick blip of the channel logo, and it has a little sound effect. Okay, yeah, he has his own unique sound effect that I have no interest in copying. I'm not particularly a fan or a diehard advocate for that sound effect. It's not bad, Randy. I know, Randy Vasquez is the one who made that sound effect. It's not bad, it's just, I don't think it particularly helps, but that's just, don't listen to me, Randy, don't listen to me. And then after that intro, this is where we usually start to get into commentary, where we voice our own opinions about the subject or whatever we titled the video, basically the subject of that matter. The giant section where we give our commentary, basically, and that's where we come into our editing styles as well, where they also seem very similar. Yes, I borrowed a lot of Tailosive Tech's editing style. Why? It's because, truly, I appreciate the efficiency in that editing style that basically allows Drew to quickly get his thoughts and opinions about a given subject and basically gets it up on YouTube, lickety-split, pronto. While I still can't use that style as fast as he can, where he can get a 10-minute video out in basically an hour, or less than an hour if he's not streaming it and talking with us about the whole thing. It still usually takes me 2 to 3 hours to get a 10-minute video out, and that's just because I'm me, I guess. I think it really just comes down to the human factor at that point. And yes, our editing styles are very similar, where sometimes I will either grab the whole frame and just punch in, zoom it in like that, or use a Ken Burns effect like I am right now to slowly pan into my face. Yeah, Drew does the same thing, and yeah, that's where I kind of got that idea from. And then the background music. Yeah, that definitely is a dead giveaway. We both use the same exact track on this channel. Drew uses this track on the Tailosive Tech channel, and I use this track here on the Gadgets channel. So yeah, there's a lot of similarities here, you may have noticed. But basically, after this point, I think that's where we're going to start getting our differences in. Because yeah, you might have just noticed, I pointed out a lot of similarities between how Drew and I make videos, but there are still many differences that actually still separate us. One of those differences, well, if we're on the topic of editing styles, I usually like to insert one of those bleep screens. Every now and then I'll insert one of those bleep screens when I say something very weird for whatever reason. For example, Also, when I happen to get angry or very frustrated on this channel, you know that I happen to have some language that Drew typically doesn't use. He doesn't use the same vocabulary I'll use every now and then, let's put it that way. And then I guess this is where we come into the heart of the main differences in our content. The truth is, my thoughts and opinions really are my own. Sure, Drew and I may happen to agree on some opinions and we'll have the same opinions, but I don't have my opinion just because, oh, he has an opinion, therefore my opinion matches. That is not it at all. In fact, Drew and I have many disagreements about various things in the tech industry. For one, he believes wholeheartedly that the iPad Pro needs macOS. That's an example. Everyone knows this. Tailosive Tech, Drew Erickson believes that iPad Pro, in order for it to be Pro, it needs macOS. I'm not in that camp. I don't believe it needs macOS. What I believe it needs is the feature set, or to be macOS based, but have iPadOS's UI elements to make it more touch friendly, because according to Drew, he just wants them to slap macOS on it. That's it. Just slap macOS or dual boot it so that way you can run macOS, the full version of macOS. And sure, you might have to pay more money to get the magic keyboard with a trackpad and such to use the cursor itself. He believes wholeheartedly that it needs to run full-fledged macOS, even its UI design. I don't. To me, that would just reverse the problem that the iPad is having. The iPad has a pretty decent UI and very optimized for touch, but it just lacks features. It lacks professional features. But if you just give it macOS, sure, it'll have these features, but now it will lack the optimized UI that makes it easy to interact with in terms of a touchscreen standpoint. Those are my thoughts on that matter, but Drew, nope, his full opinion is needs macOS. Don't even change anything. Just run full-fledged macOS on it. I don't share that opinion with him. And then there's other preferences that we have that I just don't share either. He is in the full camp of every display, every phone, like the bezels. It has to be black bezels no matter what. I don't know about you, but personally, I like white bezels. Yes, it's crazy, but I do like white bezels. In fact, my 32-inch Samsung monitors, which I'm actually staring at because they're right behind the camera, those are 32-inch displays with a black bezel around the display portion and a white bezel even around that. Truly, it does not bother me. I also happen to really like white bezels because every time I look at it, it just brightens my day up a little bit. It's a personal thing, but truly, I like white bezels. I don't see a reason to complain about them. But yeah, to sum up this category, for the most part, our content usually isn't a direct copycat of each other. And it's because I have my own opinions, I have my own thoughts and my own rules of thumb. Like for example, one of my rules of thumb when it comes to buying a device, screen real estate. You go big or you go home when it comes to the screen size. That's how we do things around here because I found out the hard way by trying to go small, and for me, it just doesn't work. That's why my rule of thumb is you go big or you go home. Not the case with Drew because he uses an iPhone 15 Pro, now the Pro Max. So we don't have that same rule. The content that I make, the commentary that I give on given subjects, it's not a direct copycat of him. Yeah, sometimes we happen to share the same opinion. I mean, we're both fans of Apple, so because of that, we're going to share a lot of similar opinions on Apple, and we do. And that's how a lot of Apple fans are. We share a lot of opinions. Yeah, you get the point. But there are things where we do have our disagreements on, and sometimes it gets annoying, but ultimately, yeah, we're not the same person. And my commentary that I give is my genuine thoughts. Andrew Erickson has no effect on the commentary that I give on any of my videos on my YouTube channels. And when I mention him and explain his story, it's because I want to explain his story, and for the most part, I'm just explaining his story when I think it's relevant towards my commentary. But other than that, no, my commentary genuinely is my own. And then also our outros are slightly different. He just has a simple, he just repeats the intro clip that he uses. I have my own dedicated outro slide that features some recommended videos that YouTube will recommend. Or if it's videos on other channels that I also put up, then yeah, I update those as well to show the latest video on some of my other channels. So yeah, we're not perfectly alike. Yes, I use a lot of his style when it comes to making these videos, but that's because I found that his style is actually the most effective way to get my commentary out there. And one more side note that I want to mention, and Drew has confirmed this many times, be it on his live streams and such, but something that Drew has pointed out as well is he has not patented the style. Not only am I the only one who uses that style, Drew is also not the only one who uses that style either. The style where we basically don't allow ourselves to breathe within the video so that we don't lose your guys' focus, and we also pan in shots like that. Okay, this isn't a unique style to either me or Tailosive Tech. It's not unique to any of us. Many other YouTubers also use this style. And yeah, okay, I happen to use the exact same soundtrack as him. Here's why. Truly from the design of that track, it just functions so well as being background music for a commentary type of video. It just works so well. In fact, before I even started using this song, I actually wanted to use this song even before Drew had switched back to using this song for Tailosive Tech. I was going to use this before he had switched back. I just had to figure out what the heck the name of the song was so I could find it on the internet. Now I found it and I'm using it. The truth is, this song works so well in terms of just being background commentary, where it fills in silence where I happen to, well, not speak for a short bit. It just works so well. The track works so well for commentary videos. That's why I loved it so much, and that's why I was, again, I'm sorry, Randy. I'm not trying to offend you, Randy. I'm really not. But that's why I was a bit upset when Drew stopped using it for Tailosive Tech or just any of his channels in general. It's because truly, literally for the purpose of just filling in silence in the background of a video, this track is amazing at that. That's why I love this track so much, and that's why I've chosen to use it. Again, no offense, Randy. Your music's great. Your music is great. Okay, I'm not trying to dismay Randy here, but that's something that Drew has mentioned so many times on stream. He really doesn't care if you use the same style he does. I should know because, for one, I personally asked him, you're okay with me doing this, right? Because I know these videos are going to appear very similar on the surface, but the truth is I've asked him directly and he's mentioned this on stream many times, and if you want to ask Tailosive Tech himself, he will tell you he does not mind. He knows that I use the same style as he does for our content, but my commentary is my own. I'm not directly re-uploading his stuff. Like, that's the number one thing that he doesn't want anyone to do, which honestly, I don't want you guys to do the same with my content either. And if you want to use my content in any of my videos, you better follow the fair use things and you better give me credit. That's that simple. So yeah, that's why our channels happen to be very similar. But if anyone happens to hate me for using Tailosive's editing style, no, it's really not his specific style. Many other YouTube creators happen to use this style too, just so you guys know. This is why. The main reason why I use Drew's style is because I have things I want to say, and I found that literally the way he edits is the most efficient way to get it out on YouTube as fast as possible. And as a result, this is why I edit videos the way I do on this channel and all my other channels. And just so you know, I don't completely use every single track that Tailosive uses on any of his channels. The Drive channel has its own track that he never has even touched, and that's because it's from Artlist. And I'm not a fan of that track personally, but it does the job. But yeah, that's why our videos happen to be very similar. So with this whole controversy explained, it's not even that controversial. It's just I get a lot of comments explaining that, hey, this channel happens to be very similar to another channel. Are they a ripoff? There's that explained. I'm not a ripoff. I'm just using what I found has worked efficiently. And so that concludes this video. Thank you for watching. Do me a favor and interact with the stuff below. My name is DeWolf, Random Alpha, signing out.